Okay, so we're supposed to be writing the method word match. This is from the 2021 exam. This is the first question, so it's a logic question. So we have a secret word, and we're going to have a guess. And we're going to write the method score the guess, which is going to return an integer. So we want to write this word match. So again, we have like a secret word. Here, my secret word is Mississippi. And how it's scored is we have a guess. You see how many times that guess is in your secret. So you can see that I is in there 4 times. And then you're going to multiply it by the square of the length of your guess. So if we were looking for how many times ISS is in there, so here's ISS, we can see that it is in there twice. And its length is 3. And your next example exactly shows kind of the same thing. So that's what we want to write is public int score guess. So the first thing we need to do is create a count to see how many times it's in there. So I'm just going to say int count is equal to 0. Now remember, we have the secret and then we have the guess. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to figure out first if my guess is in the secret. So I'm going to call that int position. So int position is going to be secret.index of guess. Now we know if this position is not equal to -1, then we know that we definitely found our guess inside of our secret, and we're going to cut substrings down. So if I imagine my word was Mississippi, like our example was, the first thing we're going to do is PPI, can't spell. We're going to look at it, and this would be index 1. So I found my I at index 1. So then I'm going to do my substrings. Now I'm going to start at position +1. And I'm going to see if that new secret, the smaller secret, also has the guess in there. So we're going to say while position is not equal to -1, which means we found our guess in our secret. So first thing we're going to do is increment our count. We're going to create a substring. So now my secret is going to be equal to secret.substring. And we're going to start that at position +1. And then we're going to go back and we're going to say our new position is going to be the secret.index of guess. Then we're going to go back and again check if that is not equal to -1. If it's not equal to -1, that means that we found another guess inside the secret. So after we're all done with that, we're going to return the count. Not recount, that was not right. We wanted to return the count times the square of the length of the words. So we would do guess.length times guess.length. Now remember, guess is a string, so you have to make sure you use .length parentheses so it has a method involved. If you didn't want to write this twice, remember you can say math.pal and then do guess.length, comma 2. Worth 5 points. The first point compares guess to a substring of secret. Next point comes from, uses a substring of secret with correct length for comparison of guess. So here, let's see where those points would go. The first one would be, are you comparing some type of substring? So we have that there, but we're kind of doing the index of, so that's going to be how we're going to end the point. You're going to loop through all necessary substrings without error loops. We did this with a while loop. You can also do it with a for loop and just go character by character. Counts the number of occurrences in there. And it says Responses will not earn a point if they skip overlapping occurrences. So if you went, instead of just going one position after the index of it, if you try to skip the whole word, then you may not have caught occurrences inside there. 4, counts the number of identified occurrences of guess within secret in the context of a condition following both secret and guess. So we have that right there. And then 5, calculates the final score correctly. And I feel like I have one too many points. Let's see, probably this one would go. All right, and then the second part of our problem is asking us what the better guess is. So here we're given possibly 2 different guesses. So guess 1 and guess 2. If the score guess method returns the 2 different values for guess 1 and guess 2, then the guess with the higher score is returned. If the score method returns the same value, then we're going to do one that is alphabetically greater. So our example here is word game, concentration. So this is your secret word. We're guessing 10. Its position, it returns 9 because it was in there one time, and the length of 10 is 3. And if I try to do nation, nation is in there only one time also, but its length is 6, so it has a higher score, so to return nation. And if I want to find the better one between 10 and nation, notice that since the score returns 36 for nation and 9 for 10, okay, so I already did that one. So game.score con, that gives us a value of 9. Game.score cat gives us a score of 9. But since these are the same score, we're going to turn the one that is alphabetically ahead. So con is bigger than cat. So remember, if you do A dot compared to B, oh, I forgot to write compare to. A dot compared to B. Now notice A is alphabetically ahead of B, so this is going to give you a negative number. So if it's a negative number, that means they are in alphabetical order. So you would return B, because that would be the greater one. If I had B dot compared to A, this is going to give us, if it's greater than 0, that means that A is further in the alphabet than B. All right, so part A is part B. So our method is public string find better guess, guess 1 and guess 2. So the first thing we're going to do is figure out what value we got from guess 1 and guess 2 by calling the method score guess. So my first score, I'm going to call int s1 for score 1 is equal to score guess. That's the method name that we just wrote. And then you're going to pass in guess 1. And then int s2, again, we're going to score the guess. But this time you're going to pass in guess 2. So now if S1 is less than S2, that means S2 scored higher, so you're going to return guess 2. Now notice we return the string, the name, the secret word, no, I guess the guess word, and not the value of the score guess. If S2 is greater than S1, then you're going to return guess 1. Now, what would happen is we'd assume that they have the exact same length. So if we made it through these two, we know we're out of those two cases. If we make it to the next one, we know that they are equal. So then you're going to say if guess 1 dot compare to guess 2. If this value is less than 0, that means they are in alphabetical order, so you're going to return guess 2. Otherwise, you return guess 1. All right, so let's look at the scoring guidelines for this. Is worth 4 points. The first point comes from calls, score, guess to get scores, guess 1 and guess 2. So did you actually call this right here? If you call both of those, you get 1 point. The second point is, do you compare any scores? So right here, I compare a score. I do it several other places, but as long as I do it once, that's fine. You have 1 point for showing which one is alphabetically greater. And the last point comes from returning the correct value.